Today, Coleman will be sharing us from Motivational Strategies, Pathway Level 5 and Elective, Leading in Your Volunteer Organization. And the title is Borrowed Teeth, which sounds really interesting. This speech will be 5 to 7 minutes.
Can you repeat that?
Borrowed
Borrowed. Okay.
Borrowed teeth.
So, Coleman, come tell us a little bit about borrowed teeth.
I was sitting in a restaurant recently and I noticed this cute little old couple walk in and they go up, order their food, come and sit down pretty close to me, and when they get their food brought to them, I noticed that they have one hamburger, a small order of french fries, and a single drink for both of them. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I see the husband, he cuts the hamburger in half, he gives half to his wife, and he keeps half. And then he divides the french fries into 2 even piles. He gives half to his wife and keeps half for himself. And then he takes a sip of the drink and he hands it to his wife. And she takes a sip of the drink and hands it back. And it goes on like this. And I'm noticing that he's eating his hamburger and his french fries. And she's not touching it. Only the occasional sip of the drink. And I'm wondering what is going on with this. I'm wondering, do they poor? Do they not have enough food? And so I'm thinking maybe I should go up and offer $5 another burger. So I walk over to the table and I said, I noticed that, you haven't started eating yet, so you have a lot of food. I said, is there a reason that you're not able to eat now? She said, oh, I'm just waiting on the teeth. So welcome, fellow Toastmasters guests. I want to talk to you today about my experience as president of Toastmasters. I'm finally giving my speech about my time as president of Toastmasters. It was 10.5 months ago when my term ended. It took me only 10.5 months to get up here and give a speech about it. So I'm going to talk about 3 things. The first one is, conceptually, what is volunteer leadership? And then I'm going to get into some of the details around what happened while I was president, some of the excitement that happened and fun things that we were able to accomplish. And then finally, I'm going to look forward to the future of our club. So first, as we talk about volunteer leadership, what is that? How is it different from other types of leadership, say at work? The big thing that's different is you're missing one key motivation, and that is a paycheck. I can't tell you I need you to work harder because you're not going to get paid if you don't. I have no leverage in that scenario, but what we do have is people are 100% there because it's their choice. And so they have something to gain, they want to grow and improve, and so that's a very key piece in which volunteer leadership is different from work leadership. And so as I step away from that and now talk about my experience using that type of motivation as leader of this club, I want to talk about some of the things that happened. So first, there are 4 really key points through the course of the year, July through June, that I wanted to highlight. First is when we got in, I really prioritized filling out and accomplishing, making sure everybody in the officers understood our club success plan. And we completed that fairly quickly within the first couple months of being a club. And I really think that set a solid foundation for us so everybody knew where we were at and where we were going for the coming year. Once we did that, we went into the year and we had lots of speeches given and things that happened. And by the end of the year, we successfully achieved all 10 Toastmasters goals for that year. They give us 10, but we don't get to choose for ourselves. And based on how many you accomplish, you achieve various levels of success. So we achieved all 10. The one that we did not achieve that kind of qualifies you for the awards is that we didn't have sufficient numbers. So that was the one area that we were short on. The 2 other things, events that I really wanted to highlight were our participation the first Friday Downtown Pride, which was a lot of fun. We were able to meet some people and join in that. And then from that, we were able to invite people and host a open house and a 30th anniversary celebration that I think was a lot of fun. And kind of wrapped up our term as my term as president of the club. It was really rewarding, and I wanted to speak now about the officers that were part of the team. All teams need various personalities and styles, and I think that was those strengths. And when I talked about borrowed teeth, I sometimes felt like I was borrowing teeth because there's a lot of skills I don't have. And so I would pull from somebody else, say, you have a strength I don't have, can you do this for us? And that really was what led to our success. So starting with our Vice President of Education, Aaron was for that season. And I really appreciated how you were dependable and always completing our agendas on time. Came up with some very clever meeting themes, which I really enjoyed. One of them in particular that I remember was neither rain nor shine, or snow nor rain is the one, and we got to talk about the post office and some various things that they do and have changed over time with how we think about mail delivery. That was kind of a fun thing to talk about. And then for our Christmas theme, when we had our special meeting at Outback, it was a Charlie Brown Christmas. Somebody actually brought a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It was just fun to talk about all those things. Our Vice President membership at the time was Al, who I thought would be here, and I could talk to him about it. But what he really excels at is his ability to connect with people. And he was our VP membership, so he connected with potential members and new guests, and was really able to make them feel connected and welcome. And that was a very valuable skill he brought to the team. Jana was our Vice President of Public Relations, and she did a really good job of coordinating, helping with First Friday and with our open house celebration. Heather also helped because she was on the executive team at the time. And really, I think that was a great thing that we got some people to join and help us with, and the skill set of hers was valuable. Jerry Lynn was our secretary at the time and did a really great job of kind of elevating our game in terms of note-taking, being diligent, and making sure we had our details sorted out, that things were on time and orderly, and that was a huge help to me. As a president, I didn't have to worry about that as much, so that was a great skill set that was helpful for me. And then lastly, Nathan was our Sergeant at Arms and our treasurer, filling a dual role. And he's just so dependable and willing and able to get in even during busy seasons for him. He was here early, getting the meeting set up every week, always able to start on time because of that. And he was very diligent about making sure the money was accounted for, they were handling attentively, and that was nice for me to not have to worry about that as well. So, after my tenure, looking back on it, one of the things that I measured my success by was I got to see 3 new people step into leadership roles now as officers of the club. Seeing that they saw the excitement and were willing to jump in and try something new, that really made me feel good as president that looked like something people were interested in. It made it seem attainable and enjoyable. And so now it's time to start thinking about officer roles for next year. And I hope that some of you are thinking about what you can do and how you can step up in that way. One of the quotes I really like is from Zig Ziglar, and it says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And so thinking about that, if you are interested and willing, you don't have to be great. You don't have to have the teeth to start with. You just got to start. Somebody else will have the skills that you need to be successful, and just figure out how to work those skills together. And I think that will make the team successful. So my tips, if anybody steps into leadership in the future, I have 2 main tips here. First, communicate, communicate, communicate. It doesn't hurt if people hear things 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's much better than if they don't hear it, they're confused, and don't know what to do. It's really not about telling people what to do in your communication, but it's more so about setting a goal that's very clear that people can attain, and then they'll figure out how to accomplish it. But make sure that everybody is on the same page in terms of what we're trying to get to. And then lastly, I'd encourage you just to challenge yourself. We talked about it. You just have to start. Don't be held back by what you think you can't do, but rather allow other people to use their strengths. You know you can't do some things, but other people can. And really work those things together and borrow other people's teeth to be successful. If you don't think you have time on your calendar, it may not be as capacious as you like, but I still think that there's time to grow and improve as a person. So we talked about how volunteer leadership is different from work leadership. We talked about how my year went as president of the club, and then we talked a little bit about looking towards the future of the club. And just remember, you don't have to wait until you can do it perfectly. Just step up and you can make a difference for our club, for our members. And I really thank you for your time, for listening today and encourage you to step up and to lead with passion.